Ladies and gentlemen, what the hell are we seeing happening on Solana? Is Solana chain in trouble? It is pounded with negative news today after the Argentinian president, Milei, sponsored and endorsed a meme coin called Libra on the Solana blockchain. And it no doubt, within a matter of just hours, literally rug pulled. Not like just pump and dumped, but literally the team pulled the liquidity from the DEX. Now, in this video, we're going to talk about Solana, the state of Solana, what everyone's saying, why the price is going down, and is this a good opportunity to buy or not? And at the end, I'm going to tell you about something that is completely unexpected and where money might be rotating to instead. So in this video, it's not for me to give you guys financial advice. It's for me to educate you guys on what is going on and giving you the opportunity for you guys to make your own decision. This video is jam-packed with awesome information, and I hope that you guys enjoy it because it was sure fun to make. Without further ado, guys, let's get into it. If you haven't seen me for a while, it's because I've been out, had a bad back injury, and couldn't walk or think or anything for almost a week. So now getting back into it, but it seems like I didn't miss much. I missed this, thank God. But anyway, so people knew about this, right? So this guy named Hayden knew about it, and there's a good video out from Coffeezilla on his other channel called voidzilla. I watched today. If you guys, I think what I might do tomorrow is I might make I don't know, let me know in the comments if you're interested in this, but I might make a video on it tomorrow, just the parts that left me having more questions than answers in that video, because I think it was, I'm sure Coffee did as much as he could do in an hour interview, but still there's a lot to be desired there as far as, how do we move forward? How do they move forward? How do people got hurt move forward from a chart that looks like this when everyone thought this was going to be the next Trump or something like that, or, whatever. And that he's a pretty popular, one of the most popular presidents, Milei. And so he confirmed that this was legit. He confirmed that this was legit. And now you can see, it pumped all up to $4.5 billion market cap before swiftly, this is the 1 hour chart, swiftly coming all the way down within a matter of just a few hours down to $150 million from $450 billion. So he also deleted his tweet. And, after Melania and after this one and after the Barstool Sports, Dave Portnoy, which he was in the interview, people are joking around. I really don't. I think this is, hopefully it's a joke. Come back, Gary. Look what's happened since you've been gone. No one wants to see Gary back. In fact, I've never been more bullish about the industry. But what I have realized though, is this is going to take, it's going to take a little bit of time. Yeah. And so for me personally, I think this is going to be a delayed cycle that might even, it may be a super cycle. It may deviate quite a bit from the traditional 4-year cycle. I know people in the comments were saying, Kyle, you've been saying this has been an altcoin season forever now. And all we can do is look at probabilities and say what we best think is going to happen based on history and things like, global liquidity. And even though the global liquidity is going up, I did watch something recently that says global liquidity going up is a leading indicator that can sometimes take 2 or 3 months for its way to trickle into crypto. And so, that could still be taking its toll right now. And of course, there's a lot of things that are kind of on pause right now because we don't have a clear environment yet. We know that we have less regulation by enforcement, but we don't know is we have a clear environment, to basically for game on. And keep in mind, like people that are trying to build, what we really need to move forward is real things with real utility that change the game, not meme coins, right? And so, sure, while David Sachs might have said that, meme coins are collectibles and so therefore not a security, game on for those, like that's not what's going to really move the industry forward, right? It's a PvP environment oftentimes. There's exceptions to that, but mostly a PvP environment where people get hurt and most people lose more money than they make. Anyway, like Little Moon Lambo made a state of the trenches, Trump, Melania, Dave Portnoy, Central African Republic coin, which again, I was away for. CZ's dog, I was also away for. And then Argentinian president, I was also away for. So anyway, to give you guys some sort of idea on scale of the rug pulls and the value extraction happening. So 0x, not going to make it. NGMI made a calculation saying that Sol rug pulls have extracted $5.6 billion in the industry, which, just to give you some context, is 50% more than all ETH ETF inflows, half of Tether lifetime fees, and Tether makes a tremendous amount of money. It's about 14% of the Bitcoin ETF inflows, and it's 100% more than OpenSea earned in a lifetime. So it's maximum value extracting these rug pulls that are happening. They happen on Solana. Now, I watched Ivan on Tech's video today. Also, he had a good point saying that, scammers want to be where the good tech is. They want to know that their transactions are confirmed quickly and this and that. And it's true. But what I've been saying for a while is that, that people are going to get tired of getting burnt, right? And so there's going to be back a switch to quality, a flight to safety, a flight to quality, right? And so that's where we're going to start looking. And, that's why I was kind of relieved to see at least the mindset switch from just pure meme, actual AI use cases that are still very early. But I think the analogy of agent platforms like MyShell, which was really hyped up, launched yesterday, day before. I haven't taken a position yet on that, whether I'm bullish or not. I have no idea, but I know it's hyped and invested by everybody. AI16Z, ARC, and others that have been, layer one frameworks. I think those are good bets and good buys right now. But I do think also that a lot of money is going to flow in when you have the US sovereign wealth fund that will be worth $1 trillion or something probably, eventually, maybe not off the day one, but like they will be buying a lot of different crypto. They were buying a lot of made in America crypto. And we'll get toward that toward the end of the video. So for now, guys, let's talk a little bit more about Libra. And during this interview with this guy, Hayden, that he had about $110 million that he controlled at the moment. So it wasn't even the Libra team. It was just Hayden himself. Now, he says he's not the team. So then my next question, which wasn't answered on the voidzilla interview, was like, well, Coffee did ask him, okay, well, who is the team? He says he's not the team, but it's pretty irresponsible for a team to let this other guy control all that liquidity and have $110 million between USDC and Sol sitting in his account when the team that launched it, didn't even, they'd have no way to control it. So, if you're not aware, the Watcher Guru says Argentinians' opposition threatens to impeach President Javier Milei for promoting a crypto rug pull. Milei quickly deleted his tweets and his involvements, but of course there's screenshots to it. I don't have a big opinion on this other than, one of the things that was interesting about the voidzilla video, which again, this Libra coin wasn't promoted from what I understand to be a meme coin, but he kept referencing it as a meme coin. And so I don't know yet what it was supposed to do, but as you can see from the charts, it did come down all the way to like 140 million. Now it's sitting at 336 million. Maybe some people still believe. I mean, he did talk about putting that $100 million back into the charts as one of the 4 options that he discusses as potentially, as what to do with this money. He says he doesn't want any money. He says his family has been threatened. Let me know, guys, in the comments below if you want me to kind of make like a quick summary of that interview from my perspective and the questions and the things that I think weren't answered and still need to be answered, and my opinions, because Coffeezilla spent a lot of time asking questions, gave some opinions, but I still think there's a lot more to be discussed. I don't know if it does any good for you guys for me to hear my opinions or the things I'd like to see answered more, but I'm happy to make that video for you guys. If you're interested, I can do it tomorrow. Let me know. Now, I think the most interesting thing about this is that this guy Dave Portnoy, Stool Presidente, who launched this, other shit meme coin, who was just maximum value extracting. And he also went on to mock a bunch of people in the space. Hayden says he's new and just learning how to do meme coins. But, the guy's rich and he bitches and complains to Hayden, and Hayden refunds him the $5 million that he lost. That's not fair at all, right? Not fair at all. what the hell is it? Is it about investing in a risky asset that's supposed to be like a meme coin if it's guaranteed that, hey, you're going to get your money back if you invest in it and things go wrong? No one in the trenches, not you, not me, no one, not the 99%, are afforded that kind of luxury. So we'll see on this one. But Strong Hedge says, ain't no way these people aren't going to prison, running a 9-figure scam using heads of state as bait, doxed and living in LA, admitting to inside corruption and collusion, exchanges involved, METEORA and Jupiter, LA-based streamers and KOLs involved. And we'll just show you. So you've got Hayden over here. I didn't even know this stuff. Tom, this is Kelsier Ventures. They're this kind of, Hayden on the interview called it, oh, look at these balloons. Yeah, happy birthday. He called them a launch strategist, and he said he was becoming a very good launch strategist, which is also surprising after the failed Melania launch, and then this one as well. I don't think he's a very good launch strategist. Let's listen to this. There's a couple good clips here from the Void/Coffeezilla interview.
Has turned into some of the wallets which are being linked back to you are like linked to wallets which sniped the coins that you launched, right? So in the case of Libra, there's the wallet which Dave got refunded by, which is, according to him, your personal funds, was linked to an Avalanche wallet which was funded like a sniper of Libra. So, but if you launch the coin, isn't it unfair for you to snipe the coin?
So I would say no, and I would say that for.
And here's where I want to interject something too. Okay, so if I don't end up making this reaction video of this interview, let me just give you a few points right now. So one, what happens with all of these fair launches is they're not fair at all. Right? They're not fair at all. They're meant to give the perception, literally just the perception, that they're fair, trying to get 100% of the circulating supply out into the float or circulating. When in fact, almost every single one of these Solana launches happens where they're being sniped or developers are bundling them. Whatever happens, most of the time, the team will control 80 to 90+% of the supply right from the very beginning, right? And Hayden's very transparent about this in this interview. But why not? Now that the secret has been spilled, right? Like, I mean, most people should know, but if you don't know, now you know. And that this is what you're up against as well, is you're up against people who get the inside scoop about popular launches that are full of cabals and KOLs and get to snipe early and then will dump on you later. And these are all not doxed or anonymous projects. What we need to go back to, in my opinion, is more transparent and fair token metrics. Now, if what it takes to stand a chance, because price drives attention, if what it takes for a project to stand a chance is a limited float, then let's try to figure out what a fair float looks like at launch and be transparent about where the other tokens are. Locked, vested for a period of time. The problem with these meme coin launches is that the team will snipe or control 80, 90% of the supply. It says on all of the metrics that these are circulating and that these are all out in the hands of the public. However, in reality, what's happened is you have a low float, high FTV launch disguised as a fair launch, which is completely not true. And so what we need to go do is go back to doxed founders, people know who's responsible, and go back to transparent tokenomics where, you know, this fair launch thing isn't really working. And if it is really truly fair launch, there's better ways to do it than on Pump Fun and on METEORA and stuff like that. I'm not saying METEORA is bad. I'm just saying, I mean, actually it seems to be pretty good in the way that it's set up technically. Now we'll get to the opinions of the public in a minute here. However, I think that if we can go back to people really building real investments into real stuff. I mean, man, if you guys are in the trenches, you must be super tired of getting completely ripped right now and burnt. So it is my hope that attention goes back to good building utility tokens. And then we work together to find out what fair and reasonable launch token economics look like. The team should keep some of the tokens. That way they're incentivized to do it, right? There should be some in reserve. There should be some for, market making liquidity. There should be some for, if the team needs money, then raise a little bit of money, right? Raise what you need to be, to fulfill the promise that you made to investors and things like that. At least then we know who to look for updates, for people to be held responsible, etc. Okay, let's go back to this.
A couple different reasons. Number one, a lot of the times when, and again,
and remember, this is Hayden saying that no, it's not irresponsible for the founding team to snipe the launch.
This is again, it's a much larger conversation, which is what I told you in text. But most of the time when I have different money in different places, obviously. But from the standpoint of sniping, most of the time when we're sniping, we're attempting to avoid other snipers getting in, right? So whether that's, and by the way, I don't conduct snipes. I'm not a dev. I just want to throw that out there I don't even know how to. If you put me in front of a computer and had me try and figure out how to snipe.
Okay, first of all, that is dumb because just saying that you didn't do it, but your dev friend sitting right next to you did it, doesn't matter, right? Now, I'm not saying that Hayden is responsible for all this. I'm not saying that he's not. I don't know enough about the situation. I just know that he's sitting on 110 million plus. That's only what was the obvious ties to the project. Now, there's probably a bunch of other people that were super closely related, probably Hayden himself, Kelsier Ventures, friends, market makers that also got in within minutes of the launch. And we'll talk about that too in just a second here.
It's not a rug. It's a plan gone miserably wrong with $100 million sitting in an account that I'm the custodian of, but I'm not, I would love instruction on what to do with it. I don't have no desire to be public enemy number one of how to make this happen. I'm not benefiting.
So he says he's not going to benefit. In the interview, he talked about four ways that he can, what he can do with it. I forget what they are. One of them is I don't know, it was a dumb idea. Oh, give it to charity, which is, just to people in Argentina, horrible idea. 2 was to figure out how to pay people back a portion of what they lost. Coffeezilla made a suggestion that maybe, he should start with the smaller wallets first as the bigger wallets that aped in $1 million plus, or the Dave Portnoys of the world who aped in $5 million. They would be considered more sophisticated investors and more likely to know what they were getting into, and therefore maybe less likely to be able to say that they were fooled into this, for example. And there's other ones as well, but those are the 2. So this benchchow.sol, this is the founder, I guess, of METEORA, which is the main exchange. They also METEORA did, I think, Trump and Melania as well. And basically in this whole long post, he goes and says, we're not responsible. We take these things very seriously. No one at METEORA, other than myself, really knew about this launch. No one does. We don't let, basically when celebrities and politicians, et cetera, want to launch a token, they need a deployer or market maker, which he is not, which METEORA team is not. They just help on tech support. So they recommended, and they got to know Hayden Davis of Kelsier Ventures, who helped with, who he recommended for several projects, including Melania, including Libra, et cetera, et cetera. And so you can go on, you can see it's a very long post. And then, your friend Sami here says, guilty posts are usually really long. And you can see in the comments, most people knew that, are not, I shouldn't say no, because I don't know, right? I don't know what really happened. This guy could be honest or he could not be honest. And that's the thing is even though it's blockchain, everything's traceable. We don't really know because it's so easy for someone to use a clean wallet. Both this guy and the Jupiter team both say that they knew for weeks that this was coming. So in that time, you could create a new wallet. You could deposit some SOL in it. You could trade it. You can borrow against it. You can make it look like it's legit, or you can use a wallet that hasn't been tied to you yet. You can know about these kind of things, especially if you're in that business of getting smart contract addresses early. It would be in your best interest to have 20 of these wallets that you've been, building over time to make them look like unique and not tied to each other by not sending each other SOL. The way that these analytics firms tie wallets to each other and say, oh, I know that you did this because it's tied to this other wallet, which you did this thing, which is how they knew Hayden was involved with Melania, because a wallet that sniped Melania was the same wallet that sent Barstool Sports guy Portnoy back that $5 million. So anyway, it's something similar with Jupiter. Same thing. We didn't know about it. We keep it close to us. Now, I don't know too much about METEORA, to be honest. And so I'm not going to say anything or give my opinion on it. I think a lot of people in the comments down here did, and you're welcome to go read those. They are mostly negative, mostly saying that they believe that they're responsible for this. And then this seems to be a post made from the Jupiter team, which, METEORA is the DEX and Jupiter is the aggregator, the DEX aggregator. Most people use it as an interface. And of course, they both make a tremendous amount of fees from these meme coins. And they say again that, the only person who had the contract address was the founder. We are Meow, which I've mentioned in my videos before. He seems to be like a really stand-up guy. But even stand-up guys, and again, I'm not saying that he did anything. In this post, it says that he was sleeping in Japan during the launch, and so he wouldn't have known. He said he knew about the day that it was going to launch, but not the contract address at the time, and that he only became aware of it immediately after it was launched. So still, if this guy over here, Ben, if they launch it on METEORA and then immediately messages the Jupiter team and says, hey, this is his contract address, and it's only at like, $1 million or $5 million right there, it's still, and it goes to, goes to 100x from there, and you put in, $1 million. Okay, well, now you're talking, right? So it's still plenty of time for malicious behavior, even if you only found out about the correct contract address, minutes after it was deployed. You're still essentially an insider at that, or was made public information. So again, my opinion on METEORA and Jupiter is, I'm just going to leave it. I'm not going to express an opinion strongly on one way or another because it's impossible for us to know. And they made their statements, so they made their statements. Now, the question is, guys, is SOL in trouble? Are people sick of it? There's not a whole lot going on in SOL, and we all know that, other than meme coins and rug pulls in the trenches and where everyone exists. And you can see it made it to an all-time high of about $300, and it's corrected now all the way back down to 180. Now, a lot of people are turning on SOL when just, you guys know, a month ago, people are super bullish on Solana. And now people are blaming Solana for all these rugs and saying it's a reason that we're not getting an altcoin season because there's so much value extraction happening from the ecosystem. So Runner XBT over here says, be very careful buying SOL dip. Yes, it's one of the top gainers, performers of the cycle, but the amount of shit that's coming up to the surface now is really bad and damaging to the SOL ecosystem. The response from the Jupiter team is a massive joke, but let's see if Meow can top it. Now, there's also this huge unlock coming March 1st. Now, a lot of people think that this is the reason for the Solana sell-off. So logically, I don't think that the meme coins and all the usage that Solana is getting is a reason to be bearish on SOL itself. And even though the FTX estate on March 1st is doing the biggest single unlock of Solana, over $2.1 billion, it's still not a lot of money, to be honest. Galaxy's getting a lot of this, are in profit at the current price of $3.3 billion. Wow, crazy profit. Pantera, profit $1.36 billion, buying at $95 from the FTX SOL sales. So it's $2 billion, right? Now, that's not a lot, to be honest. Let's go over CoinGecko and look at Solana and just give you some context here, right? So the trading volume is $3.76 billion trading volume, right? And if we look at like 3 months, like that's not even a lot. If you look at the volume from like back on February 3rd, so just like 2 weeks ago, you had $20 million of trading volume, right? So we're talking about 10 times more volume than there is sell pressure on March 1st. And if you look at something here in markets, you want to see like how much depth, like how much pressure an exchange can handle in one sell order and affect the price 2%. You would look at this section, the market section, over here on like CoinGecko, right? And so if $2 billion hit the market at once, it would wreck the charts pretty bad, considering that it can handle $10 million in one clip like that and affect the price 2%. But that's 200 times less than what's being unlocked. So, but my guess is that it's probably already priced in, like this Lochu says over here, the market has already reacted, right? And there might be another way that these Solana are offloaded. And another thing too is that these unlocks might not even be all sell pressure. Maybe there's a little bit of sell pressure. Maybe there's some profit taking. Like if we go back and we look at how much money these guys spent, purchase value, they did spend like $1.6 billion. So they made 3x on their money, so maybe they recover some of it. Maybe there's $1 billion in sell pressure or something like that, so maybe, but definitely wouldn't play with leverage. Personally, I don't think that like these reasons alone are enough to think that Solana is not going to have an epic run. Now, some other things to consider are something that I've said for a very long time. It was one that serious institutions are not going to be putting billions and billions of dollars or hundreds of billions of dollars or trillions of dollars on Solana right now. It just hasn't battle tested like that. Plus, these large institutions don't have the sense of urgency that Gen Z and Gen Alpha and millennials have, where you need instant confirmation on your financial transaction in seconds or a second, and I think that they're patient enough to wait to see if like Sui or Aptos provide a better smart contract and safer smart contract environment than Solana. I don't know, but I do know that institutions are willing to put trillions of dollars of value on chain on ETH, for example, right? And this Xerox Gumshoe over here says, here's a lot of things that are being built over on Solana that are real. And I think there's a lot more happening too. Like I was at a really cool conference with Balaji and Brian Johnson, and I know that they're building something like Network State, something on there. And so there's definitely stuff happening on Solana, but it's just nowhere near the scale like of real stuff being built that, let's say, Ethereum is. So to that point, you've got guys like Alex Becker who are now ETH Super Bulls. So saying like, dear comrade, ETH season. Okay, so over here he says, I'm fully out of Sol, all in on ETH, and fuck my life, Cardano. After he makes fun of Charles and Cardano forever. RWA is going to be a power narrative. ETH, Cardano, XRP have the power here. Cardano has the most upside. And he's retweeting a bunch of people who say like Coin Mamba, ETH is extremely mispriced right now. You will not get an opportunity like this ever again. It's become clear, time to call it. Sol, ETH has topped. ETH, BTC is bottomed from Crypto Charles. And so he's just repeating and retweeting a bunch of people. And he's not the only person. My good friend Chris over here, Crypto, saying everyone's hating on Ethereum makes me want to have look for opportunity now. Also mentioning the fear and greed index right now of the market, which is fear. So very, very good. We want this fear right now before the market starts turning up. So Chris, what did he do? He opened up a long right now on ETH, 11x, 20 grand in profit right now, 4 hours ago, just to give you some context on what Chris is doing. So you can see a lot of people are switching to ETH right now, not because they think Sol is shit, just because ETH is still like, I believe, let's see, ETH is still down 42% from all-time high. It hasn't hit all-time high yet. And when you look on, it's up on the day, 4.3%. Bitcoin is staying steady. Let's see, how about Cardano? Cardano up 7.4%. Lido up 4.7%. So Chainlink up 4%. So you can see now the Ethereum-based things are starting to run a little bit. Let's see if we can find something else on ETH. Well, that's wrapped ETH, of course. Uniswap up 3.5%. Pepe up 6%. It's on ETH. Aave, ETH-based, up 9%. I love Aave. Might actually do a bit more rotation into ETH now and do some more of my looping into it as well. Even Ethereum Classic is up 4.2%. So just something to consider, guys. Something that I think that you should be paying attention to. And you can see Bitcoin has just been kind of consolidating now for a while since it topped at like 109,000, coming down again. And it's not that this is going to stall anytime soon. I mean, the macro timeline for ETH is insane. And guys, also, as you may or may not know, I don't have a lot of, I don't take a lot of tokens for the channel. I do sometimes, but I let you know. And so this video was made possible by two partners sponsoring the channel today, LBank and NordVPN. LBank has a really cool promotion right now where you can get $500 in trading bonus if you deposit up to $1,000. And for my American friends, there's no KYC. LBank's been around for a long time. They've got tons of trading pairs. And my link is in the description below. And NordVPN, guys, you have to use Nord. You can get 4 extra months if you sign up with my link below. It's really important, for all of the different things now happening. If you can't use a particular dApp, for example, in crypto because it's geo-blocked, then you can just use NordVPN and say that you're a different country. If you want to watch videos on Netflix, for example, that aren't available in the country that you're traveling to or aren't available in the country that you live, well, you can just use NordVPN and say that you're a different country. It's super, super easy. Works one click. You don't have to be a genius to use it. It's really nice. Now let's look at the Ethereum chart as well. Starting to look like it's turning around, but I'm not that confident in it yet. So we shall see. Maybe just swapping some of my collateral from wrapped Bitcoin to Ethereum, maybe on Aave makes a little bit of sense right now. Okay, guys, and then on the macro perspective, very, very bullish. As James Safar says over here, the number 7th largest holder of BlackRock Bitcoin IBIT ETF is the Abu Dhabi Sovereign Wealth Fund. Imagine when the Saudi Sovereign Wealth Fund comes online and the American Sovereign Wealth Fund comes online. Yeah, so Bitcoin still extremely bullish on. The National Bank of Canada, Bank of Montreal are loading up on MicroStrategy, giving MicroStrategy more ability to continue what they do, sell stocks, borrow against, buy more Bitcoin, et cetera, et cetera. 330.5 million shares worth of MicroStrategy holdings were reported by 12 US states in Q1 pension funds or treasuries. This, remember we talked about this a while back, was a big deal that it made it to the something 100 that would now allow MicroStrategy to be included in pension funds and retirement funds, things like that, state funds. And so now 12 state funds are included in, MicroStrategy is included in. Crazy. And one last thing, which is really crazy. So Dan Tapiero says over here, let's think about this for a second. The new comptroller of currency of the United States used to work at a Bitcoin mining company that invests in cryptocurrency projects. Let that sink in. It's 2025 and the future is now. Bull market has not even gathered steam. So President Trump has nominated former crypto firm Bitfury, CLO, Jonathan Gould, to lead the office of the comptroller of currency as the country's bank regulator. Extremely bullish, guys, extremely bullish. All right, guys, I hope that you found this useful. Let me know in the comments what you might want to see, what you have questions on, and I'll try to pay more attention to those and make sure I'm giving you guys kind of content that you appreciate. And if you did enjoy, do me a favor, destroy the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'll catch you guys tomorrow.